Nigeria is a beautiful country populated by amazing people. This film is based on the stories of 3 Nigerian women and how their experiences mirror the health status of women all over Africa. Amaka is a 22-year-old trader living in the eastern part of Nigeria. She's having her first child soon. Getting pregnant and starting a family of 3 had always been a dream she and her husband talked about. Soon, it would be a reality. Unfortunately, Amaka never went for any of her antenatal visits. She never saw the need to. After all, her mother and grandmother both had safe deliveries. She had nothing to fear. Encouraged by her husband and mother, 9 months flew by without antenatal care. On the day she fell into labor, the baby was too big to come out. Amaka labored for 18 hours. Rather than take her to a hospital, the traditional birth attendants, or native midwives as we call them, encouraged her to keep pushing. Eventually, the baby came out, but Amaka kept bleeding like a pipe that had been burst open. She died. Her baby survived, but would grow up without knowing her mother. Aisha is an 18-year-old student living in the northern part of Nigeria. Aisha always loved going to school and was supposed to finish her final exams last year so she could apply to the university. Unfortunately, that was when the bombings and kidnapping of girls from school started. She had to stop school because her parents said it wasn't safe. After that, Aisha would spend her days on the farm with her brothers. When she wasn't selling oranges for her mom in the market, she would secretly go to study. Still, she couldn't help but feel sad about her future. Would I ever go to school again? This was a constant thought, raging her mind daily. And over time, the battle against depression began as thoughts grew into worry and frustration. Timmy is a 23-year-old social worker living in the southern part of Nigeria. She has been married for 2 years, and although all might look good on the outside, she is a victim of domestic abuse. Her husband would come home drunk and channel all his frustrations into her. She was living in hell on earth. When she shared this with friends and relatives, they all said the same thing. If he hits you, then you must be doing something wrong. Chris is a nice man after all. Timmy decides to hide her pain and suffering behind a smile, but she can't help but wonder, what if I die and don't live to see tomorrow? Women and girls in sub-Saharan Africa are still the victims of numerous challenges which have adverse outcomes for health if nothing is done. These are not just the stories of 3 women, but the lived realities of women across Nigeria and Africa. 1 in 4 Nigerian women suffer from intimate partner violence, and 48% of Nigerian women have experienced at least one form of violence since the COVID-19 pandemic began. Or did you know that over 6 million girls are still out of school in Nigeria? Maternal mortality in Nigeria stands at 814 deaths per 100,000 births, one of the worst in the world. We can't afford to be silent. We have to spread the message and care for our women and girls. Ignorance, war, or societal apathy aren't excuses for poor health. This is a call to action. Sòrò Sókè, speak out.